Very cool.
So I'll just go through what I do. So at 3:30 I sit down, I open up MetaStock, I click on the Explorer, and I run my daily long and my daily short system. So it's just a matter of clicking on them, pressing Explore, and then a report will come up. So it runs the scan, and then the report comes up. And maybe there's 10 shares that come up for me to look at. So I'll open up those 10 charts, and I view all my charts in this format here. I have an average true range on my charts, which I only use to help me with my position sizing, using a multiple of that to decide where to set my stop loss. I have an MACD histogram on my chart, and that's just a decision-making tool when I've got more than one share to choose from. I view everything in a candlestick format, and I have a 30-period moving average on my charts. And that's so that if I flick to a weekly chart, I can view all my charts using the market stage analysis, which is your stage 1 base, your stage 2 uptrend, your stage 3 top, and your stage 4 downtrend. If you're not familiar with all that, I do have a technical analysis home study course where I basically educate you into understanding those 4 market stages, because you need to understand the health of a share to know when's a good time to enter, or an unhealthy share, when's a good time to short sell, but knowing when to get out as well. And then I always have the volume at the bottom of my charts with a moving average, and when I have a spike above the moving average, I know that there was strong volume that particular day or that week if it's a weekly chart. So that's all I have on my charts. I don't like to overcomplicate it with too many indicators. I know that if the share comes up in my scan, the trigger is there, and then I'm looking at those charts to make sure that I like the setup. If there's any immediate resistance, I'm cutting them. So I can very easily open up 10 charts and cut 7 of them very quickly, and I might be left with 3. Then I go and look at those 3 charts, and I might look at how the volume's going and what the MACD histogram is, and it will help me then pick from those 3.
If I may jump in, if I may jump in, the one you talked about being able to cut, maybe 7 of them. Is that something like, I mean, you eyeball the chart, you've got that basics course on the technical analysis. Is that like an intuition type thing, like you look at it and you get a feel for the stock, or like up until this point very, very mechanical, and then that final piece?
Yeah, unfortunately I can't take all 10 trades, otherwise you could say it's all mechanical because I just open up everything that comes up from the report, but that's just not feasible. If I'm going to manage my open market risk, I can't open all 10 trades. Unless you're just looking at, say, the top 10 stocks of the market, the first one that gives you a signal you enter, then you could be mechanical in that way. But I run my scan pretty much over the top 300 stocks, and I have to pick from them. So I have a set of rules, which is basically a set of rules based on, well, how do I know that the stock's broken out and how do I know the stock's healthy? So it's determining what I view as a healthy chart. And I went through and studied a whole lot of winning charts, like good trades that have performed really well in the past, and looked at the charts and said, well, when was a good time to get in? What was happening at that point in time? What was the candlestick doing? How strong was the move? Where was the resistance or the support? And so on. And this helped me define my rules down. And I teach all these rules in another course that I have, along with these system codes. So it's just a matter of, I guess the first thing is I would cut anything that has immediate resistance. So that cuts out a lot very quickly, and then you're left with them. And the process has become quicker over time. I mean, I used to sit there and spend a lot of time looking at the charts and deciding. Now with MetaStock, I just open up the 10 and I hit the X in the corner for anything I don't like and minimise the ones I do like, and I'm just left with all the ones minimised at the bottom, and they're the ones that I go back to.
Excellent.
And there's some days I can't open a trade because my risk won't allow me to, or I'm fully invested. So, that's a nice position to be in when you are fully invested. So it's that process, and like I said, you can't take every trade the system's going to bring up unless you limit the number of trades that's running the scan across.
Yeah. So once you've identified the trades, then where do you take it from there?
I then position size the trades. So once I've chosen the trade that I like, I've got a little position sizing calculator in my Smart Trades Spreadsheet, and anybody that has my book also gets access to this position sizing calculator as one of the free downloads. And it's just a matter of putting in the share price, deciding where the stop loss is going to go by looking at the average true range, and usually a 3 to 4 ATR and seeing technically where that's sitting on the chart, and then whatever my percentage risk is on my capital, and that determines how many shares I can buy, and making sure it doesn't exceed a maximum position size. And then I go in knowing, okay, that's how many shares I can buy, and then once the trade is opened, I enter the stock just usually buying at market, and then I automatically set the stop loss straight away. And then I enter all the details into my Smart Trades spreadsheet, where I basically have one page dedicated to each trade, so one worksheet per trade, which has all the information for that trade in there. Starts off with just the initial purchase and managing the stop, but it tells me when I can pyramid, and if I sell out at any stage, I then enter that in. It also manages my time stop, a trade monitor, an open risk monitor, and I can use it like a diary too. I can put my reasons for entry and exit. So it's like a trading diary, but it's my trading plan turned into a spreadsheet.
Yeah, very cool.
And then I can put all that information, I can see it all on one total portfolio page, so I can see at any point in time where my capital is between my two systems. Do I have any capital available to trade? What's my portfolio heat doing? So there's a total page that summarises all my trading in one hit, and I know where I am at any point in time, and that's all based on open positions, based on where their stop losses are sitting at that point in time, and any closed trades, obviously whatever happened with those closed trades. And then everything gets summarised into one worksheet called the trade summary worksheet, and I can see all the trades row by row. And so I just basically wanted something that could manage all my trades and record all my trades, and then I could evaluate my performance after a period of trading and know how I'm performing in the market. I could see my number of wins to number of losses. I can see what my average win to loss ratio, my percentage returns are, and see everything on one screen. And I can also manage an equity curve too and see how my equity curve's going. So I developed my own spreadsheet because I couldn't find something that could do it all for me, which just evolved over time into basically a product in itself, because I had a lot of clients that wanted to buy it off me. So I wrote it for myself, and then everybody wanted it, so that's how it sort of evolved, and I made it much prettier and wrote a user guide and produced some videos on it at that stage. But once people wanted to purchase it from me, I turned it into a product.